This incredible estate was paid for by a family fortune made in the City of London. A family who not only founded the country's oldest privately owned bank, but also came up with the concept of using paper as money. I'm glad they did. So where am I, and will today's buyers be putting their money where their mouth is? Find out as we escape to the country. This week I'll be helping a couple decamp from town living and find their dream home in the country. And it needs to be big enough to accommodate a whole army.
I wonder what you're getting at.
I don't know, Helen. What do you think?
Could it be a war games room, possibly?
But I'm not sure it's going to plan. Yeah, a conversation might be a bit difficult here because you'd have to be like, kind of going a bit like that. Mind your head. However, there's always our mystery house, which might just seal a victory. I'm in Wiltshire, and this is Stourhead House. It was built in the 18th century. It's the ancestral home of the Hoare banking dynasty. Now, it was Richard Hoare who came up with the idea of using paper instead of gold for financial exchanges, paving the way for the money that we use today. But it's not just Stourhead that boasts a fascinating history. You can bank on the fact that this county offers plenty of interest too. Landlocked Wiltshire borders Hampshire and Oxfordshire to the east and Somerset to the west. Much of Wiltshire's countryside is shaped by its rich history of arable and livestock farming, which stretches back thousands of years. A working landscape it may be, but 2/5 of the county is protected as an area of outstanding natural beauty, from the chalk grasslands in the south and central areas to the clay-rich vales in the north. The Salisbury Plain is home to Stonehenge, one of the most famous prehistoric sites in Britain. And with 8 white horses galloping across its slopes, Wiltshire is quite the county of mysterious landmarks. There's a rich assortment of attractive properties too, thanks to the wealth of natural materials on offer, from thatched and timber-framed houses through to the locally quarried stone buildings found near the county borders. Wiltshire has always been very popular with city dwellers in search of an escape route. From Marlborough in the northeast of the county, you can be in London, or Bristol in just under an hour. But with property prices here so high, you're going to be seriously stumping up for that privilege. But if you're willing to look elsewhere, maybe in the west of the county, away from the commuter hotspots, then property's about 35% cheaper. Wherever you look around this county, there's a wealth of property on offer. Here's what's currently on the market. For just shy of £1.3 million, this 4-bedroom Cotswold stone house in Castlecombe blends the traditional features of the inglenook and beams with the completely new. Just look at that inventive ensuite. And why not take the plunge into this sun trap of a swimming pool? On the market at £725,000, this spacious 5-bedroom new build in Wurton may have a modern shell, but the interior is very traditional, including a large country-style kitchen. Outside, the terrace leads to over 1.5 acres of mature landscape gardens. Or perhaps you could be converted by this renovated 4-bedroom chapel in Great Cheverel, on at £415,000. Its large sitting room and separate kitchen diner have loads of character still intact, and outside there's an attractive garden. And if you like all that, just you wait till you see what we've uncovered for today's buyers. But first, let's meet them. Our couple are Chris, a retired civil servant, and Helen, who downsized to their current 3-bedroom house outside Newbury, Berkshire, just 5 months ago, with their 3 tortoise companions. After 20 years of happy marriage, Chris took early retirement, and they've been pursuing their dream of building a high-spec home in Madeira. So why the sudden sea change to Wiltshire?
It was a couple of months ago we made the decision that because of the economic situation, we weren't going to be able to move to Madeira and build the property we wanted now.
Living here is fine, but everything's in boxes, and while we were supposed to be building in Madeira, it was okay, but at the moment there's no end in sight. So we want to move on, find something bigger so we can live.
After designing their dream home, is there any style of property they really don't want?
Lived in a bungalow for 20 years.
We've done the bungalow thing, let's try something different.
And how do they hope to spend their time once they move?
We're looking for the lifestyle in the country where you can just stop and have a chat to people and talk about country matters, about growing seasons and where the best wildlife is and walks in the country.
I'd like to be able to complain about the fact that we tried to walk to the local shop, it took 3 hours because everybody stops to talk to you.
Chris needs a games room to wage war with his model army. What else are they hoping to find in their English country home?
We would like a view. A view I think is very important, and everything needs to be open. Large, light rooms, at least 4 double bedrooms if possible, because Chris is going to steal one for his toy room. I'd like a nice big kitchen, the big cooker, so I can cook big meals.
Large lounge, open fireplace or a log burner for a nice traditional feature. My bookline study, of course, with my oak desk. We would want at least a double garage, I think, to get some of our cars away.
Well, that's quite a list, and that's just the inside. But outside seems just as important.
I'd like a much bigger garden than we have here, more private. As you can see, it's very heavily overlooked. I spend an awful lot of time in the garden, sunbathing, gardening. I'd like a vegetable plot so I can grow more tortoise lettuce, greenhouse, polytunnel, maybe even join the local gardening club so that I can actually integrate with the locals and get to know people, which would be wonderful.
One of the things I'd like to pick up when we're living in the country is an old childhood hobby of mine, which is astronomy, looking up at the sky and seeing the stars and the planets with a telescope.
And they've another big hobby.
Well, we love off-roading. We've had various off-roaders. Obviously, being in the town, we've had to downsize somewhat because we don't have the parking. So when we get to the country, we're going to buy some more.
Helen and Chris plan to rent out their current property. So with that in mind, how much do they have to spend on their country home?
Our budget for the new property is £500,000.
So it's a property in Madeira versus a property in Wiltshire. Both are such different propositions. You know, in Madeira, Chris and Helen worked together with the architect to design their dream home. A light, open, airy space. Big kitchen, a book-lined library, parking for 3 cars, hobby room. Oh, let's not forget the glorious view. A wish list that hasn't changed now that they're looking for a £500,000 period property in Wiltshire, a county where a detached property will set you back £150,000 above the national average. Who said I'm not up for a challenge? Our house search will focus on the southwest corner of Wiltshire and radiate out from the town of Devizes, where the couple have friends. It'll also bring them closer to Helen's family, who live just over the border into Dorset. In today's show, we'll be viewing 3 fantastic Wiltshire homes, and as always, I'll be asking our buyers to guess the price of each property once they've had a good look round. Finally, there's our mystery house, which will put what they think they're looking for to the test. Chris, Helen, welcome to Wiltshire.
Thank you very much.
Pleased to meet you.
Very nice to see you. It's lovely here, isn't it?
It's fantastic.
Gorgeous.
Looking
It's just what we've been looking for.
Madeira, it ain't.
No.
Yeah,
Nope.
a little bit overcast. Can't see the tropical plants, but we can't do Madeira, so we're looking for something over here.
We know that a house that would look great in Wiltshire would look stupid in Madeira, and a house that would look great in Madeira would look stupid in Wiltshire. We're not comparing the same things, and we know that. We're looking for a completely different dream here.
So you are willing to compromise, do a bit of work on the property?
Absolutely.
Totally. Put our
Yes.
own stamp on it.
Definitely. It'd be nice to have something we can make ours.
So go on then, let's talk about budget.
Right, the big B word. Well, we prefer not to spend over 500,000. It's mainly because of the stamp duty, obviously, but that does leave us something to do some work to, anything that needs doing.
And also 500,000 just seems a ridiculously big sum of money to me.
Yes, it's
But it doesn't get you that much these days.
Not in Wiltshire.
No.
No, well,
No.
so would
Or
here.
anywhere, really. But, you know, if you did find something that was over the budget, we could stretch it if we needed
I
to.
have a spreadsheet, and it tells us that we could probably afford up to 570, but that would need
to be perfect.
Absolute top billing.
I'm loving your spreadsheet.
Prudence, the
She's
spreadsheet.
called Prudence.
So a top figure of 570.
Very
Yeah,
top.
but
You have got your strange hobby, the toy soldiers, which sounds like it takes up quite a bit of space.
Yeah, if you can get a sort of 10 by 4 foot table in a room, that would be good.
You're quite precise, aren't you? 10 by 4,
Very.
right? I tell you what, I think we should get going.
That sounds good.
We've got some lovely properties, including the mystery one, of course,
Yes.
which hopefully will put a smile on your face. Let's get going.
Yes.